Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Life of Ghost Hunters podcast. I am trying to figure this out. Here we go. Um, for those that don't know me, which you should, my name is Nick Sarlo. I'm with Channel Hunters Paranormal Investigation and Events. And with me on our podcast, we have Miss Sharon Moritz. Sharon, if you want to, there she is up there. And then below Sharon is Patrick Corellis. We
Hello.
are shadow hunters. And we decided to kind of take like a smaller type break from investigations. And we're going to be doing some podcast. We figured this is a easier way to still get to know you guys and um, to talk about haunted history, and to talk about true crime because true crime seems to be very, very in now. A lot of people do watch true crime podcasts and stuff like that, especially on YouTube. If you guys are watching, you're either watching us from Facebook, my personal page, the Shadow Hunters page, or our Shadow Hunters YouTube channel. So, how's everybody tonight on this cold December night?
Wonderful.
Great.
And then we have our, we have our weatherman at the bottom. We have
Yes.
Patrick. Um, can you turn all this, Pat, into like 60, 70-degree weather?
I
And
wish. I mean, go down to Florida, they're having 80s, so go celebrate down there. Anyone from Florida watching?
we might need to go. You got Terry and Tracy. Where are you?
Yeah, that's
Start
right.
bringing that weather over here.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So pretty much how the podcast is going to work is, and it, whether you guys are watching live or whether you're not watching live, you guys can always interact with the comments that we'll have on here. How it'll work is every week we have either a true crime or a haunted history, that a whole thing that I'm going to read off. And after I'm done reading it, then we're going to kind of do like a discussion about it and kind of see if we can figure out anything with the story, figure out if there's anything that possibly that we had missed or that they had missed as investigators. So yeah, we will get started. So the one that we're doing tonight, it's got a lot of big words for Nick and Sharon. Uh, Sometimes our pronunciation isn't quite as it should be. So just we'll work with it as best as we can.
Yeah,
All right.
it being German, I think it's Hinterkaifeck.
Yes. Hinter. And what's funny is before we started, I went on Google Translate and I kept hitting it over and over to see how exactly I should say it. It said it just like Pat did. It's Hinterkaifeck. So tonight, we are traveling back to 1922 to a small isolated farmhouse in Germany, a place where the wind howled through the trees, neighbors kept to themselves, and a family lived in uneasy silence. And the farmhouse was known as, like Pat said, Hinterkaifeck. And we'll begin. At Hinterkaifeck, what happened there has gone down as one of the most chilling and unsolved mass murders in history. 6 people were slaughtered with a pickaxe. There was no clear motive. There were strange ghostly signs that the killer or killers, there could have been 2 killers, may have been living in the farmhouse before the murders. This is the story of the Hinterkaifeck murders. It was late March 1922. Hinterkaifeck was a remote farmstead about 43 miles north of Munich. The family who lived there consisted of Andreas. Uh, he was known to be harsh, suspicious, and controlling. His wife, Kazilla, their widowed daughter, Victoria, who lived there with her 2 children, 7-year-old Sazilla and 2-year-old Joseph, and the family's maid, Maria, who had just started, um, who had just started her job the day of the murders. Well, that's kind of convenient. Um, the Grubers weren't well liked in the community. Rumors swirled about the incest between Andreas and Victoria. Joseph, the toddler, may have been the product of that relationship or the son of the local of a local man named Lorenz, who was also Victoria's sometime lover.
Say his
Dark's
last name.
his last name. You're terrible. Sure. His last name Sch- Schiltenbauer. Schiltenbauer.
Schli-
Schlitten
Schlittenbauer.
Schlittenbauer. I know the last part is Bauer. Um, Dark secrets seem to hang over the family like a shadow. And here are some of the unsettling signs. In the weeks leading up to the murders, Andreas Gruber, that was the family's last name, confided in a neighbor about something disturbing. He said he found strange footprints in the snow leading from the nearby forest straight to the farmhouse, but there were no footprints leading back. Inside the house, Andreas noticed odd things: a set of keys missing, footsteps in the attic, a newspaper on the property that no one in the family subscribed to. He suspected someone had been living in the house, hiding and watching, but he never reported it to the police. Instead, life went on as usual until March 31st, the night of the murders. It's believed that the killer or killers struck on the evening of March 31st, 1922. One by one, members of the family were drawn into the barn. No one knows how, but theories suggested that they may have been lured by strange noises or perhaps chased there. Inside, Andreas, his wife, Victoria, and little Kazila were killed with a mattock, which is a heavy farm tool similar to a pickaxe. The blows were brutal, crushing, but what's even more horrifying is that young Kazila was found with clumps of her own hair torn out, as if she had lived long enough to witness the horror, pulling her hair in terror before finally dying. Back inside the farmhouse, 2-year-old Joseph and the maid Maria were murdered in their beds. 6 lives, this is going too fast. 6 lives gone in a single night. For several days, the farmhouse sat silent. Smoke was seen rising from the chimney. The family's dog barked from inside. The cattle lowed unfed. Neighbors began to notice the absence of the Grubers. The children hadn't been at school. Victoria hadn't been at the church choir practice, and no one had seen Andreas in town. On April 4th, several villagers decided to investigate. When they entered the barn, they found the gruesome pile of bodies stacked and covered with straw. The rest of the house revealed the others. It was clear that something far darker than the ordinary crime had occurred. Now, they said that there were a couple strange clues. The crime scene left investigators baffled. For one, the killer or killers had stayed at the farmhouse for several days after the murders. Food had been eaten from the kitchen, the cattle were fed, and the dog was let out. This wasn't a quick in and out killing. Someone lived among the corpses. And remember those strange noises in the attic, the missing keys, the footprints in the snow? It seemed the killer had been lurking for weeks, maybe even months, inside the farmhouse before striking. Now, I guess there are some theories. Over the years, countless theories have been proposed about who committed the Hinterkaifeck murders. Lorenz, the neighbor and possibly father of Joseph, was a prime suspect. He had financial ties to Victoria, and the neighbors thought his behavior at the crime scene was suspicious, but nothing could be proven. Others suspected robbers, though nothing valuable was taken. Some pointed to Andreas himself, claiming he may have been killed in revenge for his abusive behavior. Remember, he was the father. And of course, some whispered that something more supernatural was at play. A restless, excuse me, a restless spirit, a curse upon the Gruber family. No suspect was ever arrested, and to this day, the case remains unsolved. Doesn't this case kind of remind you of the Villisca Axe murder house in America a little bit?
Yeah, it sounds just like it.
Mm-hmm.
Except this is
Revenge.
like
So,
the
yeah.
the German version, but I don't think the American version has weird ties between incest and this and kids and I don't know.
Well,
So what
with the Velixa X murder house, they don't give you any information like that about the family. Where with this, they gave you all kinds of information about the incest and
Mhm.
the one girl getting married and having a child, and then her husband goes to war and he's killed. And they tell a lot. Where with the Velixa, that one, they don't tell you all that stuff.
Mm-mm.
So you don't really know um, what was actually going on in their lives. Just that there was two extra kids there um, that had spent the night.
Yep,
Yeah,
and I think they have more of a timeline for this. So I guess that night, March 31st, 7 p.m., they fed the cows, and then finished their chores 8 p.m., and then 9 p.m., they say that the first victim, who they think is Andreas, was lured into the barn. Um, and then about 9:15, Kazilla, the older Kazilla, the 72-year-old, checks on him, um, and then she gets killed. And then
Mhm.
9:30, Victoria hears a noise, or around that time, 9:15, 9:30, Victoria hears a noise, and then enters the barn, and then she gets killed. And then he goes into the house, the killer, he or she, and kills little Kazilla, who's 7. I think she's the granddaughter. But it's just crazy that she, sort of, like you said, survived for hours and pulled her hair out, and then um, it goes into midnight, and then ends up killing the housekeeper, which I saw that the previous housekeeper quit because she said that the farm was haunted. So
Mhm.
that's why she quit. So that's
Right.
interesting. But yeah, there's a timeline, and yeah, I don't know who did it. I think it was the jealous lover.
It could have been, and I think what's scary enough in like any of these type of like scenarios, I think it's scary that the killer was still inside of the house the entire time,
Yeah,
like before any of the killings. Because remember how they said there were footprints in the snow going to, but there were no footprints in the snow coming out of. So where did they stay? Did they stay in the attic? Did they stay in the basement? That stuff like that really creeps me out. Really creeps
Yeah.
me out.
And it happens.
Mhm.
It really happens.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's numerous cases of, uh, different killings and stuff like that where you hear that the murderer stayed overnight, wherever, and honestly, that kinda goes back to the Villisca X murder house too, is they say that the murderer hid in I think it was the attic
Yeah, in
the
the attic.
entire time
hmm
and
Hmm.
then killed everybody. I won't go too much into Villisca because, we're talking about Villisca next week. That'll be our next podcast for next week. Um, but
I
I thought it was kinda funny that he also fed the cows and he let the dog out, and how considerate, like,
Yeah, he
we
was a nice guy.
yeah.
Or guys.
And
but killed the baby, which is sad.
Oh my
now
God.
do you think it could have been female or male?
Well, I had read in 2007 the German police did a re-investigation of this whole thing, and they ended up finding a prime suspect. But because there's descendants, there's like German law, they can't say a name. But they said that they think that the it was a local male that was familiar with the farm, and that familiar with how the family dynamics and who was who, and also that it was a male that had an emotional connection to Victoria, and also someone that was comfortable to stay on the property, that knew the property. I mean, how did they know to where how to feed the animals, let them out, and where the food was? I mean, if I was in a barn that I, not that I would do this, but if I was did that, I wouldn't know like, okay, how do I feed these cows? Where's the animal
Mhm.
feed? Where's this? So I don't know.
That's why I wonder if it was maybe like an inside job that
Yeah.
Yeah,
somebody
could have been Lorenz, who lived next door. That was that what was her name? Victoria, her
Victoria,
her boyfriend.
yeah. Mhm.
But
Because if it was
what would be his motive?
could
Because
have been well, remember
he
it said that
adopted What they say he adopted her kid,
Um,
the boy, because
it
she told him
says,
that the boy was her father's son from abusing her. So
are we talking
he
about Andreas?
Andreas is the father.
Yeah, because it says he was known to be harsh, suspicious, and controlling.
Andreas, yeah, that was her
Hmm.
father. And
Hmm.
then her boyfriend was Lorenz, who lived next door. And she told Lorenz that her father had been abusing her. And
Hmm.
that's how she got pregnant with, was it Joseph or the
Uh,
little boy?
well, yeah, yeah, 2-year-old Joseph, because there was 7-year-old Kazilla and then 2-year-old Joseph,
Right,
who came from Victoria,
right.
or
And
in German, Victoria.
I actually like Sharon's theory because I was watching what's that one on Netflix, the cold cases, or not the cases, it's about cases that happen. And there was this girl where the parents did not approve of her and her boyfriend's relationship, and didn't let her see him or whatever. So she staged that a murderer came in and killed her parents, and the boyfriend tied the girlfriend up to make it look like, but the boyfriend killed the parents of the girl, and then she ended up calling police. And then the police were like, "How did you call police?" And they're like, "Oh, I voiced 911." And they're like, "You can't do that with this phone." And they ended up finding out that it was like her and the boyfriend conspiring. But
Hmm.
she told the boyfriend, "Oh yeah, kill my parents." I mean, people will do crazy things to
Oh
stay
yeah.
together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I wonder if I think I think there's actually a movie on this too.
On
Yeah,
what?
yes,
That story
On
he just told about?
Well, that one, and then also the thing that we were just talking about, the Hinker Keinfeck, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. I believe. Um, I mean,
yeah,
because
there are.
it's Hollywood. They make movies about everything. So I was gonna say there's got to be a movie about this.
There's some documentaries and there's some like thrillers that are based on this
Hmm.
called Hinterkaifeck. So, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I wonder. And I've never heard of this before. I was doing research on like true crime stuff, and this popped up in Germany, and I thought it was interesting, so I went for it and read it and got all the details. I think it's a pretty good one, and I still think the scary thing is it's still unsolved.
Yeah.
Right.
That they don't know who did it, why they did it, what was the motive, and all that kind of stuff too. So
So what did you say about 2007? They reopened the case?
Yeah, the German police, they have a lot more things they could work with now. They reopened the case and they ended up having a prime suspect, but I guess there's a German law where you can't name a suspect that's already dead and they have descendants of the family because then it harms the descendants of the family. But
Okay.
all they said was like it was a male and someone that knew the family and um, someone that knew how the family that was close with them. So that's why I do think it was the boyfriend.
okay, that would make sense. I wonder if maybe it possibly like because the daughter didn't really listen to kind of what her dad said. You think it was Andreas that could have done it too?
Yeah, and unfortunately, in World War II, which happened 20 years later, the skulls that they had, for evidence all got destroyed in a bombing.
Hmm.
So they didn't have any of that stuff either to um, look at. But maybe they found fragments and stuff that they were able to use in 2007. But I thought that was interesting too. It's
That's
like
possible.
constantly haunted. Yeah, like things happening. Like, what are the odds of that happening? That all the skulls get destroyed in that from world 20 years later in a
Hmm.
war.
That could be. And remember, they said, and like you said earlier, Pat, the maid that was her first day, um, and you said the other maid had quit because she thought the area was haunted.
Hmm.
So it maybe it could go to a point where it's kind of like the Warrens a little bit, like the devil made me do it type of thing. That could be possible, or
Mm,
could have been
true.
rage, or maybe it was supernatural.
Possession. Yeah, you never know.
I don't know.
I personally think it was just some bum or somebody traveling through the town and saw this place and decided, well, I'm going to go live there, secretly in the barn or in the attic.
Hmm.
And then he just decided to kill the family. I
Could
think
be.
that's what it was.
And it said the person stayed at the barn for 4 days after they killed them. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
interesting. Like, why 4 days? Why not 1 or 2? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess
Is
people
that?
start getting suspicious with like the mail not being answered and
Hmm.
the
Well, the
kids
kids
not.
weren't at school either.
Yeah, that too.
Um, I don't know. It did they say that they ended up finding anything in 2007? A little bit
They
further.
not really, just said that they were, because there was no physical evidence, because the skulls were destroyed, and the people that were involved in 1922 have been long gone, but they think that it was Lorenz Schlichtenbauer, but the profile matches what the German police uncovered when they investigated the case. I mean, I don't
Hmm.
know
And
how we
and
can see.
another thing is they said that all the neighbors and all the people that came there, they moved the bodies around and they messed up all the um, you know, stuff to investigate, They were
Yeah, in the
walking on things.
1920s, yeah, they didn't have
Yeah,
like crime tape and secured scenes and
right.
cameras and stuff like that. Do they have
Yeah.
cameras? I don't know. Sharon, do you remember? No, just kidding.
Yep. Sharon was back. Sharon was back in Germany in 1922.
Das wäre einfach so German. I was over there in Germany. I was
Oh,
right next door. Me and Lorenzo Weaver had an affair.
Jesus Christ. We're gonna get
So I
kicked
think
off
Sharon
of
did.
Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh
definitely
my
an interesting
goodness.
case, and makes me excited to talk about Lizzie Borden and what's true and what's not. And I know we all want to go there, and that's on our list to go
Hmm.
out to Iowa and
Oh,
stay the night
absolutely.
there. But it'd be good to get some research beforehand. So
Well, some of the other places that we're going to be talking about on here is, like I said, we'll be doing Belisca Axe Murder House, Lizzie
okay,
Borden, and then this one I thought was really cool. It's called the Axeman of New Orleans, a jazz-loving killer. Anytime they played jazz, this guy wouldn't kill, but if they did not play jazz in their houses at night, he would come in and kill them.
you know what? I saw that on American Horror Story. They had a couple episodes on that,
Okay.
and it was like they reenacted it. And he was the jazz guy, and you hear the
Hmm.
jazz music, and then
Yeah. I thought that was very interesting. I was like, "Oh, this
I
would
never
be
heard
really."
that.
Um, that was
True
back
story?
in.
True story or
That's what it says.
yeah.
It says it's true. And then another one we're gonna do is the Murder Castle of H. Holmes,
Oh yeah.
um, which of course is big in Chicago. You know where we're from. Um, and then another one we have is the Black Dahlia, Hollywood's most haunting mystery, of the Black Dahlia. And then everybody knows about the Bell Witch, right? The Bell Witch haunting, which is in Tennessee. And then after that, we have a lot. And then for our final episode, for the seasons and stuff, we're going to be talking all about the Amityville horror, which was based out of New York. Yeah, New York,
yeah, Long Island. Yep.
Long Island, New York. Hmm.
I just realized Lizzie Borden, Massachusetts, Willisca, Iowa. I got them mixed up. But yeah,
I'd still love to go to
yeah.
Lizzie Borden, even just to take a picture of that house. Now, is that the original location or was it moved?
Um,
I think it is
It's
the original.
it's still there. The Borden family home, 92 Second Street in Fall River, Massachusetts, and now it's the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast. So we could stay there and have some beds and breakfasts.
Sharon can cook us breakfast.
No, the ghosts do.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Lizzie's mommy.
Lizzie's
for us.
mommy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, and then any other thing that you guys think we should talk about, just put it on there. And
Yeah.
anytime, we just did the Hinker Kaifek. We just did that one. But if you guys have any more for tonight that you want to talk about, we can talk about too. I think it's interesting that a lot of the ones that are let me restart that. I think it's interesting that most of these murders took they're either with axes or tools that you would find in the barn. So you have Lizzie Borden, you have this one, the one that we'll be talking about in New Orleans. He had an axe. It's not like you see on today's TV where it's just like a knife or anything like that. They make it more gruesome with an axe, and they're true, which is even more terrifying.
You'd have to really, really sneak up on somebody
Mm-hmm.
to get them with something like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No.
Because if they happen to turn around and see you coming at them, they're going to fight you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm good. No, thanks. Sharon, you remember that one time when we were doing this and you tooted?
That wasn't me. That was Greg.
I still remember that. Just you sitting there all natural and kind of leaned over a little bit. I have to find that video. I don't know where it is. I know I still have it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it somewhere too. I don't know where it's at.
Oh, God, I wish AFV would have took it, but they didn't. They wanted nothing to do with it. We would have won. We would have won that $100,000.
We would have.
Then we could have went to a lot of haunted places, but
was
no, we didn't get picked.
They were
And
just
then,
asking again for more videos.
Well, we better think of something, or even you could do like the. What did you do the last time we were out? We were talking about scientists, and you're like, well, pooty poo poo on the scientist.
Yeah. Pooty poo poo on the scientist.
Even these words, Sharon. I don't know where you come up with this shit. Doings and fixins and
Doings.
Oh.
We need to do some more doings. And you know what just opened up out here that we need to go?
I literally passed by there the other day and I was like, ooh, it's big and beautiful.
There's a full arcade in there too.
I didn't go inside yet.
We need to go, Sharon. Pizza
Where?
Ranch opened up in Round Lake.
No.
Yes.
Right there by the Walmart. Or not the Walmart, the Meijer.
The Meijer.
You're kidding me.
No,
and it's huge.
open now.
I drove by and I was like, that's big.
When are we going?
I don't know. We need to go. That could, you know what? That could be our Christmas party. We can have it. We could have it at Pizza Ranch.
Yeah.
I would love to go. I know Diana would go. She likes Pizza Ranch.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to do.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it opened. When did it open? Like a couple months ago?
Yeah, I think late summer, early fall.
3, 4, something like that.
Oh, wow.
But
have either of you been there yet?
Not yet.
No, I drove past it
too. Yeah,
that's
it's like
about it.
15 minutes.
And now that you live closer, me and Pat can always go check it out for everybody, and then we'll let you guys know how to. Sharon, you're the one who lives far away
I'll do
now.
my ice cream.
Yeah, I know. What did he say?
He could do his little ice cream thing.
He could. Oh,
Sharon.
is there anybody watching or?
I can't see. That's the only thing with Restream is I can't tell if people are watching or not.
And where will we see if they
Like the
comment?
I have it set. If there's comments, it should pop up.
Just type a comment. See.
Let's see. I don't know if it'll.
Does it show any
No.
comments?
Did you type one in? Oh.
Yeah, look on your phone.
Shadow Hunters.
Was it under Shadow Hunters or you?
No
Shadow
comments.
Hunters and me.
Oh.
I just wrote a comment there and it said test.
Shadow Hunters and
yeah.
me? What's that?
Oh yeah, there we go. It popped up. Yeah, it's on the Shadow Hunters page, and then my page, my personal page, and then it's also on the
There,
YouTube
what's
page.
that?
That's
Test.
yeah.
Oh, that's you.
Test, and then Pat put hello. All right.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. Well, that's good that it works. And honestly, if people don't watch live, it doesn't matter anyways, because then people could still watch the replay and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
feel it makes it so much easier for all of us. We don't have to edit it or anything like that. Plus, people get our real reactions. So, like, you know,
Yeah.
when Sharon
Right.
passes gas, we'll know it's her. And I won't
No,
have-
I don't do that.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure.
I bought a butt plug. So that'll never happen again.
Yogur. Did you get one for Christmas? I'm gonna get you a Reese's one for Christmas.
Oh.
Just getting over being sick. Jesus Christ. Okay. But anything else you guys think we should bring up?
No.
No.
I don't think so. I think half hour is a good time.
It's a good point.
Not too long.
And I mean some will be longer than others, some
yeah.
won't.
We got a
it
lot
just
of
depends.
information. Yeah.
But I think next week's will be pretty long with the Villisca Axe Murder House. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are watching, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the episodes out there. Because this is the month of December, we will be taking 2 kind of longer type breaks. Christmas, because Christmas Eve, no, yeah, Christmas Eve is a Wednesday, right? Okay.
Yep, and New Year's Eve. Yep.
Yeah, so Christmas Eve we will not have a show. New Year's Eve we will not have a show, but we will continue into January. We'll have a show, and you know what? I think we'll even have a show on my birthday.
Oh,
I think is
the
the Wednesday.
We could all have balloons with us, and
there you go. And
yeah,
I better get my spankings in there.
ooh, little hats. We could wear hats.
40 wax.
40.
Yeah, you could get 40 wax.
What is, see, it goes right back to frickin' Lizzie Borden.
I know.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight on the not the Shadow Hunters, the Life of Ghost Hunters podcast. We will be live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to be talking everything, like I said, from haunted history, true crime, or just if we don't have anything for that day, sometimes we'll have some guests on here and stuff, and we'll be talking about different things. So yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you guys next week.